I'm 103 years old, and I'm about to share something with you that nobody, not your family, not your counselor, not your favorite motivational speaker, will ever tell you. And the reason they won't is because it's too brutal, too unvarnished, too honest. I've existed for more than a century. I've laid to rest 3 spouses, nearly all my friends, and every single person I knew before turning 40. I've witnessed the world reinvent itself 4 times over, and throughout all that time, I've discovered one truth that follows me every single day. We're all conducting ourselves as if we have infinite time when we barely have any at all. But let me tell you when I actually discovered this, not at 90, not at 80, at 33 years old, and it required 70 years for me to completely comprehend what that moment was attempting to teach me. It was 1955, October 14th. I remember because it was a Friday, and I'd been planning to go dancing that weekend with my husband, Thomas. We'd been married 8 years, had 2 young boys, Michael and Daniel. Thomas worked at the steel plant. Good man, dependable, the type who'd kiss my cheek every morning before leaving for work and say, "See you tonight, Eleanor." Except that Friday, he didn't return home. There was an accident at the plant. They said it was instantaneous. They said he didn't suffer, but they always say that, don't they? What they didn't mention, what nobody explains, is that when someone dies suddenly, they take all your unspoken words with them. Every "I love you" you didn't voice. Every argument you didn't resolve. Every moment you were too preoccupied or too exhausted or too irritated to simply be present. That night, sitting at our kitchen table, I made a vow to myself. I vowed I would never squander another day. I vowed I would live deliberately, love openly, and never postpone happiness again. And you know what? I violated that vow almost immediately. Oh, I believed I was living better. I embraced my boys more. I said, "I love you" more frequently. But then life happens, doesn't it? I remarried, became consumed with work. The boys matured. I convinced myself I was doing well, that I'd absorbed my lesson, but I hadn't. Not genuinely. Because here's what I didn't comprehend at 33, what required another 70 years for me to fully grasp. It's insufficient to survive tragedy and convince yourself you've transformed. The real lesson isn't that life is brief. Every inspirational quote tells you that. The real lesson is that you will forget. You will slide back into autopilot. You will start believing you have time again. And that forgetting, that gradual drift back into complacency, that's the actual tragedy. I married again in 1958. Henry, sweet man. We had 42 years together before his heart failed. And you know my biggest regret about those 42 years? Not the arguments we had, not the financial struggles or the disagreements. My biggest regret is all the ordinary Tuesday evenings I spent organizing things instead of sitting with him. All the times I said, "Not now, I'm occupied," when he wanted to take a walk. All the moments I treated like they were guaranteed. Because here's what nobody explains about living to be my age. You don't just lose the people you love. You lose them over and over again in your memory. Every time you think about them, you remember another moment you squandered, another conversation you were too distracted to fully absorb, another embrace you shortened because you had somewhere to be. My son Daniel died in 1987, 45 years old. Cancer. I was 65. I remember sitting beside his hospital bed, holding his hand, and he said to me, "Mom, I'm sorry I didn't call more." And I wanted to scream. I wanted to shake him and say, "Why are we apologizing now? Why didn't we call each other daily when we could?" But I didn't say that. I just held his hand and lied. I said we had sufficient time. We didn't. My third husband, George, died 2 years ago, 98 years old. We'd been together 21 years, and even after everything I'd discovered, everything I'd lost, you know what I still did? I still occasionally scrolled through my phone while he was speaking. I still occasionally sighed when he recounted the same story for the 10th time. I still occasionally thought, I'll pay attention tomorrow. There wasn't always a tomorrow. You're young. You're sitting there thinking, this is depressing. Thinking, well, everyone dies eventually. But you're missing the point. The point isn't that everyone dies. The point is that you're behaving like you're the exception, like somehow your life will be different, like you'll have time later to live the way you want to live. I'm 103 years old, and I can tell you with absolute certainty, later never arrives. You think you'll travel when you retire. Your knees will be destroyed by then. You think you'll reconnect with your brother after this demanding period at work. That demanding period will last 20 years, and then he'll be gone. You think you'll start writing that novel, learning that instrument, taking that journey, having that conversation when you have more time, more money, more whatever. You won't. Because here's the cruel joke. You do have time right now. You just don't value it correctly. You trade it for things that don't matter. You spend it on people who deplete you. You waste it worrying about things that won't matter in 5 years. And then one day, if you're fortunate enough to live as long as I have, you'll look back and realize you had all the time you needed. You just didn't use it. I'm not telling you to quit your job and run off to find yourself. I'm not saying ignore your responsibilities. I'm saying something much more difficult. I'm saying pay attention right now, today, to what you're actually doing with your one brief, unrepeatable life. Your grandmother, is she still alive? Call her today, not tomorrow. Today. Because I'm a grandmother and I can tell you exactly what she's doing right now. She's sitting somewhere, maybe looking at old photographs, maybe just staring out a window. And she's thinking about all the people who don't call anymore, all the grandchildren who are too busy. And she's telling herself it's acceptable, that everyone has their own lives, that she comprehends. But it breaks her heart a little more each day. Your parents, if you're fortunate enough to still have them, they're not going to be here forever. And when they're gone, you're not going to care about that disagreement you had 5 years ago. You're not going to care that they were difficult sometimes, or that they didn't understand you. You're going to care about all the phone calls you didn't make, all the visits you postponed, all the times you could have simply sat with them and didn't. I know this because I am that parent now. I had 2 sons. Daniel died 38 years ago. Michael is 76 now. He visits every Sunday, rain or shine, every single Sunday. And you know what? It's not enough. Not because he's not a good son, he's a wonderful son, but because no amount of time is enough when you truly love someone. Every Sunday when he leaves, I watch him walk to his car and I think, will I see him again? At my age, every goodbye might be the final one. And that's not morbid, that's just mathematics. But here's what you need to understand. It's not different for you just because you're young. Every goodbye might be the final one for you too. You just don't believe it yet. I have a great-great-granddaughter. Her name is Emma. She's 16. Last month she came to visit me and she spent the entire time looking at her phone. And I didn't say anything because what's the point? She thinks she has forever. She thinks her friends' messages are urgent. She thinks this moment sitting with her ancient great-grandmother will always be available, and it won't be. And someday, probably when she's much older, she'll remember that visit. And she'll remember that she spent it looking at her phone, and it will hurt her in ways she can't imagine yet. That's what I want to save you from, that pain, that regret. Not the regret of big mistakes, those you can make peace with, but the regret of simple absence, of being physically present but mentally somewhere else, of treating the people you love like they'll always be there. They won't always be there. I'm not going to be here much longer. I can sense it, not in a frightening way, just in a knowing way. My body is tired. It's been functioning for over a century and it's ready to stop. And honestly, I'm at peace with that. I've had a long life, much longer than I deserved or expected. But I'm not at peace with the thought that you might waste yours the way I wasted so much of mine. Because here's the truth I learned 70 years too late. The moments that matter aren't the big ones. They're not your wedding day or your graduation or your promotion. Those are wonderful, but they're not what you'll think about at the end. You'll think about Tuesday afternoon when your father tried to show you how to fix the car and you were patient instead of annoyed. You'll think about that random Saturday morning when you made breakfast with your kids and nobody was in a hurry. You'll think about the walk you took with your spouse when you actually listened instead of planning what to say next. Those moments, the ordinary, unglamorous, utterly unremarkable moments when you were just there, fully there, those are the ones that matter. And they're available to you right now, today, this moment. But you have to choose them, you have to fight for them, because everything in our world is designed to pull you away from them. Your phone, your work, your ambitions, your fears, your endless to-do list. If I could go back to 33-year-old Eleanor standing in that kitchen the night Thomas died, here's what I would tell her. The promise you're making right now to never waste another day, you're going to break it. You're going to break it over and over again because you're human and humans forget. But here's your real job. Remember and return. Remember and return. Every time you forget, every time you drift back into distraction and busyness and taking people for granted, notice it and return. Return to presence, return to attention, return to love. Not perfectly, but persistently. I'm 103 years old. I've been alive for 37,595 days, and I can count on two hands the number of days I was fully, completely, utterly present. That's my real regret. Not that I didn't achieve more or travel more or make more money, but that I sleepwalked through most of my own life. Don't do what I did. Don't wait 70 years to learn this. Don't wait until everyone you love is gone to realize you should have loved them better when they were here. Stop reading this and call someone you love. Stop reading this and go sit with someone in silence. Stop reading this and look, really look at the people in your life while they're still here to be looked at, because I promise you with everything I have left, later never comes.